what have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. Same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
君のことば繰り返し寝ても覚めてもやまないそっけない君の笑顔が恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね
Aurora immer noch. Ja, erstmal Varus.
Hatte bei mir.
The bench is top and I believe just as silent, but he is enough to hunt the crocodile. He can
Oh my god, what a good
play. Beautiful session. But in time, he has not a next target. Blaze. Oh my. That's beautiful.
Yeah, good shit, man.
Let's go.
That Jägerbomb does land a knock up in the impale from Shy. Doesn't find any target for Torment. Gets hit up with the deadly flourish. And oh my god, that is a bit of a whiff on the combo from Itchy and Loco. As they did not try to catch anyone. They went for somewhat of a TikTok looking play. And they just look like absolute clowns.
Okay, nice try. Nice trigger. It's like an Orlun combat, trust me.
Hey, I exhausted the damage dealer. When?
It was going too well.
The Yasuo.
Go stand.
I wonder
Surprising amount.
who plays this Senna as well.
Meanwhile.
Are we playing Senna Seraphine?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
Senna.
Okay.
Nah, you're Seraphine, brother.
I'm not playing if I'm Seraphine.
Okay, I got him out, boys. Get
I'm
cheeky in
go-
here.
If I'm playing Seraphine, I'm going full crit attack speed. I can already say that to you.
Probably still better than lose.
Ooh.
Hello, welcome to the SLE. I'm Horizon, and with me I have
Olivam, and my name looks like it's spelt wrong there, but that's fine.
It's double V. Yeah,
I don't
no,
know if that
so,
can be changed.
It's fine. So today we have Chitaly, I'm going to go with, versus SlimOdds, both two teams who are currently struggling in the league. Chitaly are 1-3, SlimOdds are 0-4, which is kind of surprising on both things. I think both teams have strong players. SlimOdds especially normally tend to be in like that top 10 region. I expect like decent performances of them, but maybe it's just been a slow start. Don't know if you have any opinions on them.
Yeah, I think these are two of the teams that are struggling the most in the league so far. I mean, SlimOdds have dropped from 8th in the power rankings right down to 15th. I don't think they've had the most difficult schedule, and Italy as well have fallen down a bit in the schedules, but they have had a bit of a tougher time. I think it's going to be really interesting to see if they can live up to their potential a bit more this week.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Italy have Sovinix and JL as their jungler. I think both of those are very good players. I personally would have rated JL in sort of the top 3 junglers in the league in previous splits. So I'm kind of hoping they turn it around. It'll be a shame to see them never really realize their potential. SlimOdds again.
Like I mentioned earlier, they did play our team last week, and they did smash us about 20 kills to 0, and we didn't really get a look in the first game, but
so they have that potential. And we are heading into draft. Oh, yep. We've got Oliver's face taken off.
Too right.
That is fine. But yeah, first band's coming out from
Italy on the blue side.
Yep. And we've got SlimOdds on red side for the first game. Straight ADC bans from Chi. We've got Jinx and Caitlyn being taken out, and then SlimOdds have taken out Ivan and Azir. I know Sovinix is somewhat of an Azir player, so that's not really a surprising ban, but I also don't think he's the strongest champion at the moment. So I don't know if it should be a high prior. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the draft so far.
Yeah, I think it's just a permanent Azir ban on this guy from what I've heard. Definitely keep him away from it. Jarvan also has been buffed this week. He's looking like one of the strongest junglers at the moment, and Ivan is also disgusting. So it's good to get them out. Surprised to see the Jinx and the Caitlyn ban a little bit. I thought that Italy would be looking to just pick a strong laner and dominate these kind of weaker early ADCs in lane, but I guess just take away the strong hyperscalers and see what they can do. And the Seraphine has been locked in first. That's an interesting one at the moment.
Yeah, kind of a flexible pick. Wondering if seeing its support, but more than likely ADC seems to be the go-to for people at the moment. Just sort of that safety.
Yeah, I'd be surprised though. It looks like the ADC likes the more lane dominant ADCs, the kind of Dravens, the Jins, the stronger early stuff. So I'm a bit surprised to see the Seraphine. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go support though.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of got that flexibility at the moment, makes it a decent first pick, and can go either way.
Roll Misfortune, solid lane.
Yeah, definitely. It also takes away one of Misfortune's sort of soft counters, removing, the block from potential from Braum if it's on their side. And this pick doesn't split out as me if it goes through. Zinzal, favourite of JL, been a pretty consistent player of it in previous splits, so.
Yeah, I want to see a strong jungler locked in response from SlimOdds though. I really think they have to go strong in the jungle and really try and play around their top side to make anything happen here. So we'll see what they look on the third day. But it does look like the Seraphine's going to go into the carry role in the bot lane. Yeah,
that's where that fresh coming in. Which, okay, pick at the moment, decently strong again. Into that lane, I'm not sure. Senna though, that is a strong pick at the moment.
Yeah, kind of hate seeing that, but I would not want to face against that lane. So, but I don't think it lends itself as much to the dives in the bot lane that I was expecting. And this, I did want to see that Lee Sin, but let's see what they decide on.
Is it going to be Master?
I hope
very
he doesn't.
Surprising.
I really don't think that's how they get.
I kind of want him to.
Yeah, this was my big takeaway from looking at his champ pool, that I want to see the Lee Sin. I want to see them dive in the top lane again and again, especially when they're on the red side and they can get that counter pick. And we see it. Brilliant. This is how I saw SlimOdds winning this.
not quite the same spice I was hoping for as Lee, but you know, Lee's a bit of a playmaker.
My
But
God,
yeah,
I would have.
yeah, I'm not expecting too much action in these bot lanes. Maybe if SlimOdds can get the push, we can go for dives, but Seraphine said it's a pretty unkillable lane.
Yeah.
Jungle matchup,
So I think.
kind of neutral, I think. No,
Yeah, I
go
think
for the
Leeson
strong
should have it
early.
early, but
Yeah,
it
both of them
looks
decent
like
early.
Fiora might get through here, and I need to check. But I think the top laner on Italy, I think, is a Fiora run trick. So I feel like they're kind of goading him into doing it, and they have a counter pick cooked up. But let's see if they take the bait.
But there's always a risk. Fiora, trying to counter Fiora can sometimes backfire. It does not matter what champion, if she gets ahead, she's gonna murder you. But
It
might
can, but I
favour
do think top
Cassante.
lane. Ah, it's Cassante. They're gonna chicken out and not pick the Fiora, which is a shame. But yeah, I think they probably realise that that's the one way that SlimOdds can get ahead, because I think the top lane is where they have the advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Orianna on SlimOdds side, decent blind, I think. It's a champion.
Yeah,
She's not spectacular, but she did get her first Q buff in like 12 years not long ago. So, you know.
yeah.
Pretty
I
strong.
mean, they really need to find the delivery system. I mean, maybe Lee Sin can do it, but they have so much CC on Italy's side that I don't think it's going to be a reliable one to just jump in. So let's see how they tie this comp together with their top lane.
Flickering between Kassadin and Syndra. I kind of hoping it's for Syndra and not for Kassadin here. I think the Syndra matchup's so much better for going in against Orianna. And mid team does not need the hyperscaling of Kassadin, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it really fits their comp either. I'm not really sure what they're cooking with this comp, but it just looks like kind of very strong, controlled kind of setup.
Yeah.
So they're really going to put the onus on SlimOdds to set up the fights.
The Chi team's very much reach 30 minutes and we just win. Like, there's not much more to it than that. Zinzao with double enchanter from bot lane, Syndra for the damage. Like, it's a pretty solid design team comp.
Yeah. But there's not much to disrupt the misfortune, I don't think. I mean, maybe the Cassante can find his way in, but you'd hope maybe Lee Sin can ult him away. And after that, it's Braum can do a lot of work defending him. And we got the Gwen. We do have the carry for SlimOdds, so he's going to try and take over that top lane. And,
yeah, I think it's a potential. I think Gwen goes quite well with Braum with the passive. It beats Cassante. Overall comps, though, do you have a favourite of the two?
I think if SlimOdds are going to win it, I think this is what they had to bring, and I have a lot of respect for them doing it. So I think Italy are probably going to win, though. I think there is a big gap from what I can tell between the two teams. Italy look like one of the favourites, and SlimOdds just don't look like they've started to gel yet with their new jungler. But we'll see. Maybe it's just he needs his main to get the comfort and really just propel them into this early game and hopefully take the win.
Setting up the false hope for SlimOdds fans. But yeah, I do agree. I think, you know, coming into this, it's definitely Chi favoured. There's a lot more. It's just easier to play. You just send Zinzao in, you follow through with Senna and Seraphine and Syndra, because they just do what they want in the fight, basically, as long as they're doing damage. It's a very, very easy to pull off draft.
Yeah.
Whereas sort of the SlimOdds draft, again, it's not like it's impossible. I just think they've given themselves a harder time.
Yeah, I feel like they have the tools, they just don't have the setup. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Lee Sin can facilitate, if you have a kind of 4v4 with a Gwen on the side lane, if he can initiate the fights, find the angles for the Misfortune and the Orianna ults to kind of clean up the fights. But we'll see. To do that, they need to, I think, get ahead in the early game, and I think it's very possible. We played the Italy team last week. They cleaned us up in the first game, but we managed to make it competitive and actually win in the second game. I think the main way for them doing that was through getting that early lead, and Italy kind of just sat back a bit and scaled, like you mentioned, you know, waiting for that 30-minute mark. But they let a lot go in the early game, and I think they can be punished there. So we'll see if SlimOdds can do it. Yeah,
definitely. I think it's, like I said, their win con has to be about Gwen, I think. If Yav gets fed, there's something there. But Zinzal makes that hard, I think. He does have some vet dive potential. He's always good at disrupting her. It's got to be on the Gwen. Her W has massive value this game against Seraphine, Sun, and Syndra. So it's really... Yeah, I think you were saying earlier about the dives. I'd like to see that try and come through. Try and just bully that Cassante out and get the Gwen advantage. But yeah, it's very, very... I think this game rests on how well Chi perform. It feels more in their hands than it does in SlimOdds.
Definitely. But I think there's an angle, and I want to see it. I'm hyped. We're going to see some Lee Sin plays. I'm not sure I've seen any Lee Sins in any of the other streams. We were talking about playing it yesterday, actually, and I think it's always very nerve-wracking pulling out a champion like that on a kind of competitive stage. But, I mean, we always see this champion turn up in Pro, no matter how bad people think he is. He has such a big impact with that ult, his early game power, that you really can see him take over games. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. This guy's most played champ, so
yeah,
he's got a lot to prove there.
We tend to see in the SLE, junglers tend towards simplistic champions. We see a lot of Zinzao, a lot of Volibear, a lot of Ivan, Poppy, like things that are very like binary. You press your buttons and the enemy die or they don't. Whereas sort of, this Lee Sin's got a bit more potential to make an upset. But yeah, it's one we rarely see in the SLE. I think it's just got that unpredictability about it. We can set up all this, but if he gets like a good kick on the Seraphine, it could instantly flip the game. It's never guaranteed with Lee. It's never guaranteed.
If he does pop off in this game, though, you can expect it the next time you watch a Blaze play. I promise you that.
Yeah, I think it's I think if he pops off in this game, we're not going to be seeing it the next one either. I think it will be a quick ban. I think they can
definitely
drop either the Jinx ban and get away with that. And just get rid of
it. Although Jinx has had a buff recently and she is insanely strong at the moment, so I just think it depends how the game goes.
Yeah. It's it's kind of what's it called? It's a very... I think the next game relies heavily on sort of what we get from this. I think his SlimOdds don't manage it, but might go but more back to basics. Just get a very basic team fight comp like Chi have gone for. And I think this is the right decision when you're struggling in the standings. Just pick what works, get some wins in, Getting too fancy sometimes you can get in your own head, try and do too much.
But I think after 2 weeks of going O2, you feel like you want to get into the zone, get into the vibe of it, and really just find your set, find your rhythm.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be something to prove, sort of show the enemies that, hey, we are something still to be scared of, even if we've had a slow start. But, it'd be a shame to see either of these teams go O2 this week. But, it's always a real possibility, depending on how this first game goes. I think sometimes if you get completely blown out in the first game, it can be a bit of a... Yeah, it can be a rough to get into the next one with high hopes. But I think,
But you know what? I think Italy might get a bit overconfident, Like I say, they did blow us out in the first game and we did bring it back, so... But maybe that's humbled them a little bit and they will just stay consistent, stay on the point. But...
Yeah, no, definitely. I think sometimes keeping expectations in check can be a big part of it. In between games, it's always, League's a fresh reset every match, It doesn't matter what the scoreline was last game, you can still win the next one. No advantage carried over. So, it's just keeping your head in the game. But, like I said, we're getting a bit ahead there. We'd actually see someone.
Yeah, we'll see the first game first. So what role do you play?
So I play jungle, which is why I have an opinion on who I'm pretty sure SlimOdds' old jungle was and JL. And like I said, I think JL from scrimming against him before and everything like that, he's a pretty decent player. Tends to be a role I pay close attention to when watching games. So I think he's one of the better ones, more consistent ones in the league. I'm pretty sure he's a champion for a reason. So he's a very good player. I think.
Yeah, I think they have a couple of champions, the Italy team actually.
Yes, they do. Sovinixes as well from one of the earlier splits. So I think if they two can get on the same page, they could easily carry games.
It sounds like we're about to get into the game.
Heading on to the Rift.
Alright, level 1. So we got the Braum, and that's always a scary one, level 1. So do you think we look for an invade if we're SlimOdds here, or is it just, a bit nerve-wracking? You just want to take the 5 points, get a bit of vision somewhere, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
I think in the sort of format we have of the just 2 games regardless, people tend to play it safe. In the playoff series where we get way in the future, where you get like a best of, you'll see a lot more risky level 1s, I think. These people like to just play it safe.
Bit of damage traded on both teams though. We're 1-1 on the Lee Sin Qs, although he didn't follow it, so is it a real Lee Sin Q if you don't follow it? I don't know.
If Q hit, you go in. It's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
No time to overthink it. You just gotta follow it. Yeah, a bit of level 1 trading, but nothing spectacular.
No, they got the vision. Italy got the vision, so they know where he's starting, and SlimOdds do not know where Jin will be starting. So that can be big if you can turn that knowledge into some early maneuvers, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think there's no surprises where people are starting. You're probably not going to path towards your Senna Seraphine, and you're probably not going to path towards Santea's Lee Sin, so it's pretty standard start. There's a bit of trading going on in the bot lane, but ends
I
pretty
don't
abruptly.
really know how this lane will go. I imagine the Senna Seraphine gets very obnoxious when it gets a couple of levels and can just really permanently shove it in. But I think there is kill potential with the Braum passive as well, so they have to play it a bit respectfully.
I think if Cheese bot lane missteps, there's very much kill potential from the side of SlimOdds, but it has to be a misstep. They have so much sustain and poke in that lane.
Yeah, I think they've played together so long now that they're not going to make
trade
those
here
kind
on
of
the mid
mistakes early on. Yeah, that's an interesting one, mid lane. I think there is good setup with the Syndra and the Jhin. If they can find their angles, there's definitely blow flash potentials at least. The Jhin W giving a lot of follow up on a stun, so that's an interesting duo to look for.
Yeah, I think a lot of kill potential from both sides, to be honest, in the mid lane, so I'd expect some action around there.
Yeah, I think maybe they need level 6 on SlimOdds' side before they can threaten it, but it looks like the Syndra is getting the better half of the early trades, although Orianna still has all their pots.
Yep, that is a good trade coming in from Sovinix. Putting down Valorant, it's about a third now.
Yeah. So is the Lee Sin going to look for something here? It is in a good position, although they're playing very safe. They haven't dropped any wards yet on Italy's side, so they will have that protection when he cuts around.
They should be aware of the fact he's pathing towards bot, so
yeah. Oh, he is really punishing him in the mid lane here.
Yeah, definitely a lot of damage going down to Orianna. That's an incredibly slight CS advantage, but it's starting something nonetheless. I think it's definitely as a Syndra favoured lane. It's a very skilled lane, but it's also ever so slightly Syndra favoured, especially post 6. So.
Or he can have those 3,000 elo shockwaves to really turn around a fight in the late game. So
3,000 elo shockwaves only do so much when the Syndra R1 taps you carry in late game. So we'll see about that one.
Alright, so no ganks on the first rotation. Jungler's just heading back out after their buys.
Yeah,
both having bought a potion, level 1s, but it looks like they'd be happy with their buys nevertheless.
Yeah, I think more junglers should be skipping potions at level 1 at the moment. A lot of the time it's not necessary. You leave the jungle on full health anyway.
Yeah, it's so easy to clear the canvas nowadays. Oh, I feel like as having two junglers here, we could just talk forever about the history of clearing, but we'll try and not. But yeah, everyone's fair safe. They got the vision on Lee Sin again, so they know where he is. Looks like the first points of contention are probably going to be the grubs when they spawn. And I do want to see SlimOdds really playing around them. Hopefully Oriana can get her back off in time. Get healthy, get her first buy-in, and really support the team there.
Yeah,
It looks
rough trade for Oriana at the moment. Just absolutely.
Yeah,
crushing
he's
the
hanging
tower.
in there. Hanging in there, hasn't used either of our summoners.
There's a 6 on Syndra. They might be looking.
Oh, that's painful.
Ooh.
Okay, she's missed it though.
Lee Sin is going in onto the Syndra. Summonix is in a bit of trouble. He should be safe. It depends whether Lee Sin can hit this Q. And he doesn't go for it. Surprising. I thought he'd flash forward and just ult the Oriana and get the kill, but he chose the safer option, which I think is fair.
Yeah, they got the flash. They took the win, didn't overforce it, and Jin was around, so could have potentially punished that. But
Yeah.
I'm disappointed to see them not going for these grubs. You know, I think they had an angle, although Gwen took a bit of a bad time and really just let Cassandre get the shove. Just giving them up. So I guess we're just farming for the Lee Sin Q before we try anything. And the Syndra is in a vulnerable state now. She is Syndra, she doesn't have flash. We got the Lee Sin ult, we got the Oriana ult, so I think that could be first blood in the making. But for now, we're just going to the dragon.
Yeah, definitely. I think this trade's pretty standard. Grubs for Drake, and seem to have no interest in countering it. So
No, they're going to get the knowledge, I think, with Senna. No, just a defensive pink ward for now.
yeah, like I said, it's not really surprising. You know, when one side goes to grub, you tend to send the other to there. And I think, although SlimOdds bot lane can't really kill Cheese, they definitely have the advantage in like early fights, especially pre-6. So it's probably smart just to give that up.
Ooh, Lee Sin might get his level 6 here. And then he's got a good angle onto the Syndra. Although he's hovering towards the bottom side, so I'm not sure if they're going to look for a bot gank. But I feel like he could be mid here. Although Oriana's nearly dead. Sin's just used to... Oh,
Yeah.
Oriana has used her ult as well. Lee Sin's got 6, but he's just I'm disappointed not to see a gank mid here.
I really feel like he goes for it if I was him. But I think it's fair if he just wants to counter jungle and take the safe option. I don't think they have had any recent vision on.
Oh, we could catch her. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's true. But we're still going in further here. Oh, he's just taken it.
He's going for a
feeling
fight,
very
yeah.
confident.
He did actually.
He's stolen it. Okay.
Well,
not
that is
not
only
that
like
big on the
15 gold.
gold. Yeah.
It's not very important. It's it's gold. It's a steal. I just don't think it makes any difference. It's a small one. So
Yeah.
big.
So that does probably represent the CS lead that he's got, but he does have his entire red side up as well.
Yeah.
It is a shame we haven't seen him ult yet, because I feel like that is the big power spike on Lee Sin that you're waiting for early. We do have a Syndra without a flash. He's not really used that power spike other than to steal one of the Krugs. And
Yeah,
meanwhile,
definitely.
his blue side's getting stolen.
I think he really needs the pressure's on him at the moment. Like SlimOdds of the side that need to get an advantage in this early game to actually have a chance. Whereas she's happy to scale. If Zinzao doesn't have to do anything, he's fine with that. You know, if he's just playing defensive.
We could see
He
a
has
dead Ori
no
here.
issues.
Syndra ult is nearly
Flashless.
back up. Flashless.
Zinzao does have flash as well, so
Here we go. Oh, he's not found the angle. Okay.
no.
Ori played safe enough.
I think it was a bit preemptive from Solvenix there on Syndra. He just needed to wait a second or two longer.
Yeah.
But again, if Oriana plays it safe enough, the opportunity may have just never came.
Yeah, I think we have to give credit to Gujni as well.
JL
Oh,
might
interesting.
get caught out by the Lee Sin and the Oriana. He's a bit deep. He did get
He's
the blue,
deep
but
at the
he's just
bot
the Oriana
lane.
road, and he is just going
There's
down. First
Very
blood
nice.
onto the Oriana and a blue buff. That's pretty massive. And now Greedy's being caught out, possibly. But I think he might just be able to get out of the W.
Didn't quite have the cooldown.
Yeah.
But there we go, we've got first blood.
Yeah, I think that was a massive misplay from Jeff. That was far too greedy to be there.
It was a bit greedy, I'll give you that. But maybe they thought they chunked Oriana out enough and she would have had to back. But no, their bot lane did have the push, but they just unfortunately couldn't rotate in time.
Yeah.
It's always sad when you're a jungle when that happens. You think you have the time to go for the invade, but you get punished, and that's really the difference between solo queue and competitive, I think, where your team can communicate a bit more. You can't take these greedy invades without getting punished.
Yeah, definitely not. There's no chaos as much to really play around with. It's, you know, whatever you go in for, you're committed for way more in these sorts of matches. Still good trading going onto the Oriana from Sovnik, so.
Yeah. And this is something Italy did really well against us. Is when they get a lead, they're going to rotate their bot lane up. They're going to keep their lead rolling. They're going to take all 6 scrubs. They're not going to let SlimOdds get a look in on this objective at least. Even with the Gwen in top, they're just keen to let us scale, and they're trusting him to take the late game.
There is as well a 30 CS lead for the Syndra at this point. Oriana might have gotten a kill, but I don't really think it counts so much when the CS is this big.
No, it will help a little bit, but you're right. It's not
on
quite
5 in town, but nothing to come of it. Braum was there to ward them off. 6 scrubs though for Chi. Quite big, I think.
It's good, but taking those early grubs has let SlimOdds get a lot of vision in the spot side. It's not as deep as I'd like to see, but they do have a couple of bushes in the bot warded. They got their pink ward for the control in the river, and they are going to want to try and get these dragons rolling. I do think they have a strong comp for this part of the game. Misfortune ult's not quite up, but we do have the Oriole and the Lee Sin ult, so we can look to pick off one of the squishier members. And Oriana is starting to turn the... Yeah, this
ult is down, so there was some sort of fight with ult. I really think Sovnik should back. He's got TP, there's no reason to risk this.
Yeah, Lee Sin's hunting as well.
Yeah, Lee Sin's there. This is not a good position.
He's found him.
Center ult. And a stun onto the Oriana. Nothing else. That was it. Okay.
I mean, started the dragon. Not
nothing
quite.
really changes. It might get Sovnik's a bit of a better back, but yeah, not really much of a difference there from the outcome of that. I think there's a fight going on in mid lane currently.
Oriana's dead.
Sovnik does take down Oriana, so yeah.
Oh, that looked close. Does this leave enough time?
Very, very close.
There's nothing sadder than when you're taking dragon and your mid laner dies in a 1v1, allowing the rotate to come in, but I think they've got enough time.
Storm Surge first Oriana as well. I don't know if I agree with that build. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that one. It's a bit...
I only ever see that item mentioned as like a meme item that no one ever buys, but I don't know. What does it do? It's like burst damage, is it?
Yeah, not much. It's a bit of pen move speed. In the active, if you hit someone, it does damage after like 2 or 3 seconds to them. It's like a worse Ludens. I really think it should be a rush item.
I don't know. Oh, apparently it's got buffed.
Engaging onto the bot lane.
It looks like it might have been buffed, so maybe we're giving them a bit of a hard time, and we're the ones who haven't kept up with the patch notes.
But I don't hate not that much. It's been buffed, but not that much. It's not.
I don't hate the movement speed though. I mean, this matchup looks like it's a lot of dodging Syndra balls, and he's done a good job so far. So maybe the extra movement speed can keep that going.
Yeah.
It looks like Gwen's getting a bit of a CS lead in this top lane though.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a Gwen favoured matchup. Ultimately, it's not big enough, if that makes sense. Like, it's not going to be game deciding. The top lane's very just a neutral.
But this is the route that we wanted to see them take. You know, it is the one place where arguably their top laner is better than the enemy top laner, whereas everywhere else, I think they're, at least if we go by ranks, they're quite heavily outclassed. So
that is fair. Yeah, I mean, some of the SlimOdds team has been together for a while, so they have quite, that natural synergy. But Cassante is going in onto the Lee Sin, turning a gank around.
Cancelled the Lee Sin.
He's flashed into. He's got his cube. Is he going to hit it onto the Lee Sin? No, he's not. But Senna's there to hit the W, and Lee Sin should be going down. The kill goes over to the Senna.
Yeah, it's a
And yeah,
shame. It was
that's all
a
she wrote.
great cancel on the Lee Sin ult by the Cassante, but unfortunately there were just too many Italians in the top lane. Lee Sin's too squishy, and they were punished.
It is the issue of this Eclipse Lee Sin rush. It does damage, but you blow up. You go down very
Yeah,
quickly.
even so, you're not going to do much damage to Cassante. I don't know. I feel like you can maybe burst down the mid lane again with the Syndra.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh,
an
very
immobile
close.
character.
Sovnik's going in. He gets the kill. Is he going to get out? No, the last hit of the tower is going to take him down. I think that's fair.
That's a shame.
I think, honestly, it's probably a better trade for him. Oriana loses some CS. It's whatever. It's kind of neutral there. But
Yeah,
I don't
they got the
hate it.
assist on Senna as well.
Yeah, it is overall gold positive for Chivo, so I think he's fine with that.
Oh, I think SlimOdds still have a window to get into this game. They're not too far behind. They do have a lot of power for this stage of the game. They've got 2 dragons stacking, but if they lose the next dragon or lose some gold in the process of going for it, I do think it's gonna get unreachable.
Yeah, definitely.
Get out of their
This is a
grasp.
chance for them, but there is an engage in the top lane. Gwen versus Cassante. I don't think Cassante wants this, but he's fighting back. We can see how it goes.
Jin's on the way.
Yep, Zin is up here, ready to take the fight with him, engaging onto the Gwen. And that might be the end for Banner X. A big ult
the
from Gwen,
damage!
though, might get him. Oh, it was so close, but he didn't quite get there. CC'd for a bit too long.
That is
That is
unfortunate.
Cassante.
Sorry, you go.
200 years of game design right there. So,
Yeah. So much going on. It's does show what could have been if the Gwen got ahead early. Maybe if they didn't give Cassante the assist, didn't give him some of the good back timers that he's got to already have all this magic resist. Yeah, I mean, if Lee Sin was there, maybe they could have done something. It's just feels like they're a bit too far behind at this point. But
yeah, it is
maybe the
starting
rest of
to
the map.
slip away from them. I think the Gwen now being killed is really bad. She's lost tower first. I'm struggling to see where they can start to like break through. They could have a turnaround fight, but at this point they need to they have to hands check them. Like in an even fight they lose. They need to win on hands, and I think that should be the tower going down as well.
Yeah. Losing a lot of control over the spot river ahead of the dragon as well. All they have are these pink wards.
Decoy's
They have
being
some deep
engaged on
vision.
by- That should be the Braum going down. That is disaster.
That is, they didn't even have to use any ultimates to do it either. That's the 3rd dragon will go to Italy.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, this is exactly what they wanted not to happen.
No, they lost the turret, lost the kill, and lost the dragon. And Gwen could get this top turret, but without any grubs, I'm not sure it'll fall down. Maybe. Actually, no, she has it.
She definitely gets it. But, it's 300 gold. But she got the same and more on the opposite side of the map, so,
Yeah, and
It's a
another turret in the
forward
bot lane.
Oh, engage
And
onto
another
Ariana.
kill.
She has 0 chance against free.
No, she had the flash, she had the ult, but unfortunately couldn't make it work. And I think the top lane is a bit telling of what's going on, Cassante with very little vision, no teammates around him, but he still feels confident to just walk up to the Gwen and trade with him, even without the tower there. So really, their chance of winning through that side lane is falling apart. And I
Yeah,
would
definitely.
see it
I think
changing in the near future.
at this point, they just don't have the damage to take him down without him being able to get to safety. They are going to take the skull on the top side, but no objectives of such to play for.
I love a good scuttle, it always feels good to get, but I'm not sure that's...
I will throw an entire game
enough.
for that skull. It does not matter. If it gets my entire team killed, if I get that skull, it's worth it. So, it's the biggest objective.
Yeah, definitely the small victory that they're going to have to take to keep their heads in this game, but I've not seen much to make me believe that they're going to turn this around. They haven't tried to be proactive anywhere, even with the Lee Sin. in the early game, and it just feels like they're slowly losing everywhere, really.
Yeah, they're just kind of bleeding out. Is engage
Oh.
on to the Cinderay, but they weren't aware the whole team is away them, and they get Sovnik so low, but it's just not enough, and Bannerix is going to go down again to a counter from the Zinzao. It is so sad. He's trying so desperately to get some sort of advantage, but can't quite make it.
Yeah, he really is. They're kind of star player, and you can see why. He's getting very close, even against the odds in a lot of these situations. But it's just a bit desperate, really. You know, you're right. They don't have the vision, even though it's in their side of the map. Hits all his ults, gets one auto away from killing the Syndra, sorry. But even if he kills her, I don't think it makes that much difference. He's always getting cleaned up, and there's not really any advantage that they can play to. I mean, that's the kind of thing where your top player starts pinging missing on Baron. You know, why haven't you taken that? I've got 3 players bot and you're not taking Baron. But I just don't think they have the team to burst it down, nor did they have the setup to predict that that was going to happen.
Yeah, no, it definitely reads as a bit of a tilt play. It's just a pure dry attempt. There's no self, no vision. He just tried to get something back, which I respect, but it's kind of telling of the state of the game.
But SlimOdds did better than we did last week.
Yeah,
got
might be getting
kills.
clapped on it. Might be getting clapped on again.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see that.
No,
He realised it and didn't get caught again.
Krugs are just worth more at this point, apparently. He wants revenge for the ones that were stolen at the start.
Oh, he got that and more from that little bit there, so
They
you
might
can
be
relax
looking
now.
to release in. Syndrastun goes out, followed by the ult and a flash from Zinzao. Lets the Lee go down. Good play. And a solo kill onto the Orianna while that was happening.
Oh,
Disaster for SlimOdds. He might... MF's going to get return kill on to Vixante likely. But the center ult comes through, keeps him healthy. I don't think there's a chance here.
He's so tanky. Meanwhile, they're taking the Baron on the other side of the map. This is what Bannerix would have liked to see when he was getting 3v1 in the bot lane, but...
Trying to poke with Gwen ult, but I just don't think it's enough. Maybe gets a miracle steal, but really, she should just hold damage until, well, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge of them. 2 kills, Baron. What more can you ask for, really? It's a shame it doesn't go into Cassante, lowers his split presence a bit, but I don't think they're too worried about that at this point.
No, I don't think they need it. I think they're just gonna face them down. Maybe take this dragon away to make sure that they won't lose it and give the potential slow point away, but I don't think this game has much longer left in it.
Yeah, not
Trying to
They're
set up
looking
a
for
bit of a
pick
trap
onto
here.
Seraphine, though. Late on the kick, but they might actually get the Seraphine from the Earthfall, and Orianna finishes them off. That is a good pick from SlimOdds, but they might just be going back down in return as Braum gets Syndra ulted and engaged from the Lee Sin. Goes a bit Ori as he gets taken low, but Cassante goes back in onto the Gwen, and it looks like SlimOdds are just going to try and get out of there. 1-for-1 overall. I think not a bad attempt from SlimOdds, but not enough.
No, and we finally see the Lee Sin get some semblance of an engage, but like you say, they had to use every single ult to take that kill. All they got was the Seraphine, not at all the most fed
Engage
member on the
onto
enemy
the
team.
Orianna. Cassante is going in 1v2. He does not care at this point. He is strong enough to take on the world. And a TP coming in from the Seraphine to go assist in his bot lane. And a stun might hit onto the MF, and it does from the Seraphine, and she goes down. They then engage onto the Braum, who's also going super low, and he gets taken out by the extended E from Zinzao. A tower, 2 kills, a Drake, pretty clean for Chi there. Looking
And
to
they're
crack
not
open the
stopping
base.
here. What else have they got left? They got the Jhin ult, but not much else. I'm not sure they can push for the win here, but they are going to take the inhib and maybe at least another turret.
I think they can
Looks
go
like
for
they
the win.
do want to end.
I think they're pretty safe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think, you know. if
Gwen
SlimOdds
does have
wants to
ult though.
engage- Gwen does have ult.
Orianna ult's nearly up.
Orianna is dying to Vixante in the back though, and Bannerix is dying to the rest of the team.
Misfortune's back up.
Cassante actually takes down the Orianna on the back end. Braum is trying to
Jhin
stall him
going for
out
the
the center,
end.
but Zinzao is killing the Nexus. And that is the end of the game.
GG. Just got a bit out of hand. A bit quickly.
Yeah. And kind of as we said at the start, we both thought Italy would win. They did. It was not close, I don't think. There was a couple of signs of life from SlimOdds, but they kind of just let it fall through their fingers. I think it was kind of a worrying sign when the first couple of backs were released and hadn't actually really gone for a kill yet.
No, he hadn't left the jungle by the time he was level 8, I don't think, which is a shame.
Apart from that one attempt on Syndra, which they didn't actually capitalize on. So it's just, yeah, a bit more aggression. A bit more aggression from them would have been nice. Just some, like...
I think they needed it. With people saying that the draft was unlosable for Italy, I think it's possibly right, especially if SlimOdds don't use any of their tools early to try and get that advantage and get a snowball going. They really didn't have a way to win that late game, so it's a shame that we didn't see them trying to take the initiative early. But it was difficult. But there were, at least in the mid lane, small windows to try and punish the Syndra. But it looks like it's going to be back to the drawing boards for SlimOdds. What else have they got cooked up? Because their Comfort Lee Sin didn't really make the grade, I'm afraid.
It didn't really instill much hope for his next game. I don't think it needs to be put out as a ban, to be honest. He didn't really achieve much early. I think I would not be surprised to see SlimOdds try and force a change upon that bot lane, though. It was very unkillable. I think if they want to try something,
I think we might see the
aggression.
Senna come out on their side. I am seeing it as one of their supports most played. We did see it be very strong, especially with the global ults, really putting them to good use, pulling them out of a couple of sticky situations. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a first pick Senna, although I'm sure that's very punishable, and supports would be calling me crazy for even suggesting a first pick Senna, but you know, it's a power pick. It was used well against them, so it would be interesting to see if they can utilize that tool themselves.
Yeah. But I think now we're going to head into a break, and we'll see you soon for the next draft in Game 2.
In the still of the night, gazing up at the sky, when the stars began to fade, dimming lanterns in our eyes, thought there was nothing to find. I stopped searching for a reason, just let the world embrace us. In the silence, we are one. Can't escape from this feeling inside you. Release from heartache, you'll be fine. When the cracks start to let you run right through, I'll be there to help you shine. Promise you this, as long as you're looking, you'll see the signs. Just for a moment, a flash of light, you'll never forget. I heard you crying aloud, and a part of me cried with you. I finally see why all the meteors fall out of you. Can't escape from this pressure inside you. that tonight the stars align. When the crowds start to let you all right through, I'll be there to help you shine. I used to come here all the time in late July to say I wish into the night that maybe one day when we leave the hurt behind, we'll find our way to make our hearts burn bright like a comet in the sky. I'll never mistake the way you give me my faith. Nobody feels safe in your hands. Feel me fully face. I'm light as a fire that don't let me escape. The stars still remember they fall to our fate. I don't wanna wait. Every single part of me in flames. Tell me how it tastes. Let me be the harmony you crave. I want you to stay, please stay. Venom in my veins, deliverance waits for your hands. I am not afraid. I'm light as a fire that don't let me escape. The stars still remember they fall to our fate.
Welcome back, everyone, for game 2 of Italy versus SlimOdds.
Yep. Looking kind of rough for SlimOdds, on the verge of 06, but I think a very good look from Italy. Good players around the map, good team play. Nice ganks,
Yeah.
nice team fighting, so good showing by them.
Absolutely, I think it's more of what we've seen from them earlier on in the split. Just very kind of controlled early game. They don't want to take any risks. They're going to play to where they're strong on the map, and they're going to push their advantage where they can, which is going to lead you to win lots of games, especially games like this where the other team aren't able to kind of push you early on. They're not able to find out on the map where they're strongest and try and get an advantage. So yeah, seems like a bit of a no-brainer in a game like this to just kind of sit back, scale, and win the game.
Yeah. I'd like to maybe see SlimOdds try and focus on the mid lane a little. It's kind of a rough time for them versus Sovnix in that mid lane. Oriana really struggled. I know they blind picked it, so they're open to being countered. But and again, they're now blue side, so they're not guaranteed a counter pick. But I think maybe something a bit more oomph, so they can trade back a bit more evenly.
Yeah,
Might be the play.
I think it's just I don't know that matchup at all. It seemed like it's kind of a skill matchup, and it seems like he was a bit skill gapped. So maybe they do need to find themselves a winning matchup. They are going to get a counter pick somewhere. I'll be interested to see if they pick the mid or the top for that, because as we touched on, their top is a bit behind, at least kind of raw skill wise, and it's the one place where they're behind. So do they save their counter pick to try and cover that gap, or do they take their counter pick to really try and smash down the mid lane and push that advantage that they have and win through there? It's hard to say what's better, but I think they'll probably take it for the mid lane and just really get a good counter pick and get a good matchup, and then just sack off their top a bit, because it doesn't seem like SlimOdds had what it takes to really kind of push open that door in the top lane and play through it.
Yeah, I think as well I'd like to see a bit of a change up from the bans on SlimOdds side. Like, they banned Ornn, but were happy to pick Gwen, which is the classic Ornn counter. I think, yeah, there are maybe some wasted bans there. I think they have a bit more flexibility to maybe get rid of some of those power picks like Seraphine or Senna just out from the side of Chi and just not let them get, like, basically the Exodia comp.
I think you're right. I think the Italy top laner is going to pick a tank from what they see. You know, his Fiora was open there and he didn't pick it. He didn't want to risk it. And there's just so many viable tanks in the top lane that he can really not be banned out on that role. He showed the Cassante. He was very proficient in it. He knew when to play safe. He knew when to push his advantage. So really, I don't think you can ban that guy out. So really, you're going to have to look somewhere else to take away some of the power picks.
And heading into draft, we immediately see the Jarvan ban from SlimOdds again, which I think is a fine ban. It's JL's very proficient on Jarvan. He's very good with it, and it's just a strong champion at the moment. I've got no issues with that ban.
Yeah, and Italy looking to punish the mid lane, take away some of his comfort to really find a way and push that advantage even more.
Very similar bans again, followed by another Ivan ban. Again, strong champion. JL's proficient on it. It's pretty solid ban.
You think the Jhin did enough to warrant a third jungle ban? I'm not sure they did.
No, I don't think that was their issue. I'd really like to see them break up a bot lane. I don't think you want to allow them to just play completely safe. Either a Seraphine or a Senna ban would be really big here, in my opinion, just to take away some of that safety.
Yeah, and if they don't ban the Senna or the Seraphine, I do want to see them pick it up first. Again, that could be driving supports crazy. But we do see the Draven ban, which is...
I do not think that should be the angle at all.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, you know, it is his more comfort style to play these lane dominant ADCs and push the advantage there. Oh, but they banned the Seraphine.
Yeah, we get the Seraphine ban from Chi, which is interesting. Maybe they know that SlimOdds is willing to first pick it, so it's just safety for them. But okay. I'm curious to see what his first pick would be.
Yeah, well, they're taking the Jhin themselves. Okay.
Leaving
they left it as
open.
Zero open. That's what we forgot.
Is Sobonix just going to slam that down?
Oh, I was saying we want to see him punish the mid lane even more, and why not pick your most played champion to do it and then save your top lane? Oh, no, they're holding back. This is the Ornn we saw banned in the first game as well.
I guess trying to secure that power pick for a top lane before they lose it. I don't know if Ornn picks this early is necessary, but maybe they'll want counter picks elsewhere.
I have seen it played in the jungle and support in the past, but it doesn't look like they're up for these funky counter picks.
There is always a chance of the Senna Ornn lanes, but I have my doubts. Vizir maybe coming in second.
Yeah, Jhin was another one of his power picks. Looking at it, and they did pick the Zaya both games against us last week. He was very proficient in it.
I think it's a bit
especially
early
in the
for
first
Zaya.
game.
They've banned out Jarvan. Well, SlimOdds banned out Jarvan at least, so one of Zaya's biggest counters is gone. But I don't know if you want to pick it blind this early. But
well,
ultimately, they had to pick something blind, so
they're not scared. It does look like they'll save their counter pick for mid or support. Let's see how SlimOdds answer here. Do they lock in their top here, or are they trying to save it for a bit later? I feel like you probably should. When they got the
should lock
Jinx.
in their top.
Jinx was banned last game. It's a very strong counter pick this time. The question is now, do they pair it with a strong support here, or do they take the top counter here. You know, they're going to get 2 more bans on whichever role they don't pick, so it could be key for their comp to see what power pick they lock in here.
I think it's entirely dependent on what their team feels like. They either risk more support bans or risk more top lane bans. If they think they have the top pick ready, I'd lock that in. But if they think they know definitely what support they want to pair with Jinx, I think that's a perfectly valid choice, and it looks like they will be going that Lulu.
I like it, Jinx Lulu. You know, you are pretty clearly showing what you want to do. You want to play through bot lane, you want to get this Jinx rolling. They've got the Jhin to support that as well. They can get a couple more jungle bans in here, which they've shown they want to do to really limit. Is it JN? JL's jungle.
JL is the jungle, yeah.
They have allowed a couple of Ornn bans to get through.
Yeah.
Ornn counters, rather.
I think they should look to ban Gwen, possibly, from G side now. They know they're willing to pick it, and it is a good Ornn counter.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's just one less worry. You know, they already have a Jinxter they have to focus on. So, yeah, there's a Gwen ban.
Great thinking. Gwen's away. They've already banned a Darius. Maybe they ban something like the Jax as well. Just kind of really push this guy to his deeper pool. What else does he play? Aatrox, Gangplank, Tryndamere, Jax, that.
See,
you could see any of them come out.
Camille is very good into Bjorn, but if he's not willing to pick it, I wouldn't bother banning it from Chi. But I guess it's the way to
ban. He was so excited to get a chance to play as Azir. Perhaps his one chance he'll have it in the entirety of the SLE, and he has missed it. Bit disappointed. I was really looking forward to see that. Really looking forward to them play through that. But we're gonna have to wait for another game to see his legendary Azir.
Kind of surprised. I think in some ways I would have rather seen Azir first than Bjorn. It's just Softex is a very good player, but he's very much a mage player. You know, I very much doubt we'd see like the last pick Yone as a counter or something. He's gonna pick something, and it's probably gonna be a mage. Even if it's a counter pick, it's still in that same sort of vein of champion.
Well, you say that, but his most recent solo queue game is on Azir and is on Yone, sorry, and it was a win. Although he went 6-11, you know, he has clearly been practicing that, so we could see that as a counter.
It was his 0-10 power spike. It's, you know, he hit the traditional.
That champion is disgusting.
Very, very
do not like
champion,
it. My team will tell you that I don't even know what his abilities do, but don't listen to them.
He is a very good champion at the moment. And if we played it in solo queue, there's a chance we see it here, depending on SlimOdds mid lane pick.
We also got the Olaf ban, so they're really respecting the top lane.
Really gonna pick mid here. They know the jungler. They're getting, you know, red side R5 value if they pick the mid here.
Well,
I think it's a real big mistake.
The Talia is a flex, and he does play it in the jungle a little bit.
The Ahri is definitely not a flex, right?
Okay, sorry I missed that. I was looking at my... yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think they have picked their mid laner there. Ahri recently got buffed, very strong at the moment. Can be paired with several junglers. They might take the Lee Sin themselves. That would be interesting to see, actually. We've got the Mordekaiser, the disgusting champion in the top lane. But yeah, as we mentioned, he has a lot of picks still. He has a lot of carry picks that he could rely on here. The Kled's an interesting one. I don't know how well it goes well with the Jinx Lulu, but you know he's going to go in.
He has locked in the Kled, which is an interesting pick. I'll be honest, we haven't really seen any Kled in this league, or in pro play, or in solo queue. So it's.
I did see that Kled was picked against Banarex in his last series, I think, and it did punish him. So perhaps he's looking to do that to big boy slaps in this game.
I think it's a pretty neutral lane against Ornn, though. I think Kled has his things he's extremely good into, and he has his things he's just okay into, and I think this is one of them. Definitely Kled favoured, but not like, you know, the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Okay,
and we have the Veigar. I don't know how that matchup is against Veigar Ahri. It feels like Ahri has more options.
I think
could be an Ornn flex pick here. We
Is this
might be
Ornn
looking
jungle?
at Ornn jungle.
Is this,
This
Ornn?
is-
Have they played as all? Is this actually Ornn jungle?
No.
No, it's probably Wukong. It's almost. We almost fell for it ourselves.
We did.
I'd
I
assume-
did mention earlier it can go in the jungle, but
It's a
Yeah, I
very,
think
very
that's
rare
rare.
pick. And I've never seen JL rip it out before, so unless you've been practicing it in secret, it would be impressive. Yeah, I think Ahri Veigar is fine. The Ahri has a bit of an advantage, but she can't dash through his cage, which is a big thing.
yeah, you can trap her in there. If you
it's
get her in
very,
the
like-
middle, it'll catch her.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's yeah. I think if the Ahri's better, the Ahri will win anyway. But if like equal points, the Veigar cage could be pretty huge for setting up ganks, etc. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously,
Yeah.
last game we kind of saw Sovnik's take a complete lead of that mid lane, but maybe we'll see a bit more from SlimOdds mid lane of this game, and he can actually shove an advantage a bit more now. He's got the counter pick himself.
Yeah, I want to see the Jhin gank before the Ahri's level 6. I think with the Veigar setup and with his W, I think they really can get a kill on him early. We saw from Sovnix that he's playing a bit disrespectfully. You know, he's not playing it back. He's pushing his leads. He's pushing his advantage, and really you want to see things like that punished by a jungler, especially if she's pre-6 and doesn't have that mobility. So we'll see. Team comp wise, it's hard to say. I feel like SlimOdds definitely have some scaling with the Veigar and the Jinx. You know, they do have a bit more freedom to sit back in this one and get some gold, get some levels. I like Italy's team fight. They have a lot going on with the Ornn ult, with the Xayah ult, the Ahri ult, the Wukong, the Thresh for picks. It looks good. It's
I
hard
would
to
like
say.
Italy's comp a lot more if he had a support other than Fresh.
Yeah, the
I think-
support. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
I think a Rel, a Leona, something a bit beefy that can jump in would have been a bit more in line with the rest of the team that wants to dive. You know,
Yeah.
Fresh has what, like, not. It has conditional engage. You could either go straight in with the Q, or you can just hit the Q and decide to leave it. But Ornn also fills that with his ult. He ults, you're not inclined to go in if you think it's bad. I would have preferred to see, you know, a bit stronger follow up from like I said, a Rel or a Leona, etc. Just to.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's going to help them dominate the lane. I think Thresh Xayah should be able to punish a Lulu Jinx early. I think Lulu's incredibly squishy. You've got the Thresh Flash, and you can follow it up with a Lantern on the Wukong, or just a hook into a Flay with the Xayah kind of EQ, and you can get kills. I feel like it is more of a lane pick. It's not bad at peeling a Jhin as well, which is the only real threat on the Xayah, and she's got her ult as well. It does offer a lot. It's not a traditionally strong, it's not a strong support at the moment. Like you say, it doesn't offer a lot in the late game, but I do think it can offer some really good support in this early mid game.
Yeah, I think maybe they could have gone calmer as well. Would have allowed them to bully the bot lane very hard early, and kind of scales quite well with Wukong and Ahri and Ornn, who all want to be kind of in there with the late game shielding. But you know, that's what ifs. I think I'm going to predict Italy to win. I think again. I just think player per player basis they have they have that hands advantage. I think they just are slightly better at the moment. But again, I think SlimOdds are giving themselves a much better chance of this comp compared to last game.
Yeah, it's I'll go for SlimOdds in this one. I think I don't know how, I don't know why, but I've got a good feeling, you know. They
got
looked
faith.
better than my team looked last week in the first game against Italy. And like I say, we did turn it around to a 1-1, so you know, there's no rhyme or reason, but I do think SlimOdds are going to take this. The Jinx is going to pop off, the Kled is just going to dominate the Ornn, they're going to get every early objective, and Italy are just going to collapse. So.
I think they have given themselves a bit of a nice time in the fact that they've not got the pressure on them early this time. They don't have
they
like
definitely have
hyper
space.
scaling from the Ornn, but they do have their own like late game hyper carries and Jinx. And even Veigar, obviously he lacks the mobility like Jinx does to kind of completely take over team fights, but he provides so much late game with the risk of his damage and his stuns. I think, yeah, they've given themselves a lot more to play with this time into that late game.
Yeah, the onus definitely is on Italy to make plays early, to use the tools that they have and get the advantage. But I do think they're going to be able to do it. I don't know if SlimOdds are going to be able to protect the spot lane from the multiple dives that they're going to have coming their way. Yeah, maybe Veigar's a good pick. Maybe it can neutralize the Ahri and not give her a window to roam, and that's how they're going to utilize that to protect the bot lane. But it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see a bit more roaming from Sovnik, I'm sorry. I think his Syndra player is really good, but I think Ahri is a bit different, and he wants to be around the map a bit more with JL on that Wukong and just making something happen. Because if you leave it to scale, and I think Veigar eventually just overtakes, and you don't want to allow that to happen. You want to be out on that map. You want to try and get the bot ahead. You want to try and maybe shut that Clad down. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. I think, again, both teams have the scaling. I don't think if it reaches late game, either team's destined to win. But I definitely think, yeah, SlimOdds have given themselves that scaling this time. So they have the ability to actually win it from that position.
Yeah, I think on a broader scale, if Italy are going to show themselves to be a team to be kind of contended as one of the top in the league, they are going to have to show some early game initiative here. In all the games I've seen them play, they have kind of played around objectives very well when they're ahead. They've kind of pushed that advantage, but they haven't taken much initiative to like get the advantage outside of the objective or just their winning lane. So I really want to see, like we mentioned, the Ahri move around, the kind of attack this early weak bot lane, and really win through that rather than just winning through sitting back, scaling, and taking objectives.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see, like you said, just a lot more from the early game from both teams, to be honest. I think SlimOdds can scale, but you don't want to leave everything to sort of that. You know, you want to make something happen. Out is a strong early jungler. He wants to try and get some ganks off. I think if you can get an advantage for that Kled or for the Jinx, you can really blow the game open early. So I'd at least like to see him sort of make some attempts.
Yeah, and that could just be keeping track of the enemy jungle, not letting them get ahead, and counter ganking in those windows, especially around the bot lane. But yeah, like you said, the Kled should have an advantage. So if they can kill the Ornn early, you have to kill him early, or he's gonna get a crazy amount of stats from his passive and just become pretty unkillable very fast. So if they are going to look for a window, they need to look early. Again, could be playing around early grubs. I do feel like the 3-on-3, they have some interesting things going for them if they can hit a Veigar cage.
I think SlimOdds should definitely be more focused on grubs this game. They've got a Kled who can split push quite well. They're going to have a lot of range pressure onto turrets with the Jinx. Grubs should be more of an objective this time. They've got scaling on their side to some degree, so they can actually focus on the later Drakes rather than the first two this time. And it sounds like we're about to head into it.
Let's go. Alright, so we got the Thresh level 1, potential hooks, but again, it looks like we're just 5-pointing, like you said. Don't want to lose it all level 1. It is possible to come back, but it's never a nice way to start a game.
Exactly. These games are very much sort of like you want to give yourself the best shot. There's no third game to decide the be all and end all. So I think when you're down, you want to play it safe, and when you're up in these ones, you just want to try and secure the 2-0, especially when you're tending towards the bottom of the leaderboards. So.
Yeah, every
game.
Bit of an
inmate going on from jail though, just to get a ward onto the red. Again, to current some early vision for Chi like last game.
Yeah, I like to see that. It's an interesting one to make sure you can safely get in and get that vision down. As SlimOdds do respond by getting a ward of their own on the Raves, which is an improvement from last game. So everyone should know where everyone's playing. Jhin playing towards the bot lane and Wukong playing towards the top. I guess Shin's just trying to protect their weaker bot lane from the early dives, which is something that I wanted to see. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Can Sovonix get his dominant 40 CS lead in 10 minutes again? Seems harder on Ari, but
Yeah. Again, both junglers headed in opposite directions. I don't know if I agree with Version's help having towards bot. I think it's kind of a hard lane to gank. You have no setup from your own bot lane. I think really you wanted to go trying at the Kled ahead first.
Sovonix taking early health advantage again.
Yep,
But
good
Veigar
trade.
is getting his stacks. Yeah, you are right. I do think I don't think the Kled's in trouble, and I'm not sure. I do think Ornn is killable early, but it's obviously you do want to make sure your Jinx doesn't fall behind because that is your main win condition for this game.
Definitely.
Oh, Wukong might have avoided being seen there, but I do think the ward shows enough.
Yeah, they should not.
Yeah,
I'm
even
gonna assume
knowing that Wukong hasn't been there, I think they know where he's going.
I'd
Kled's
fairly
got his
certain they
ward
have
down now.
a good guess, yeah. Veigar going low in the mid lane though. I don't think enough for a kill, but again, Sovonix kind of putting out this early pressure again. A bit of a fight going on the top lane though, and engage onto the Ornn from McLeod. Puts the Ornn pretty low. He's going for the brittle prop to take him off his mount. A re-engage from the Ornn was a bit risky. This might result in his death, and it is. Shotgunned down. First blood to Banarex. I think that was a huge misplay. He should not have gone back in there. I think he was trying to set up for JL, but that's a rough one.
Yeah, and I guess they just didn't need the Jhin. They knew they had the kill. They knew they didn't need jungle support, so they sent the Jhin towards the bot lane to play safe. And Banarex really showing, you know, why he is the favourite in this 1v1. And I think it's a great start. This is where they need to get their lead. Let's see them transition it into early grubs, early top lane dominant, and get them away into this late game, where the Jinx and the Veigar can take over.
I think as well, like, with Kled's ultimate, he's really the one you want to get your first advantage on, because he can take that around the map. If he can save his TP, he can very easily ult down bot lane and then TP back up top. He has all the cards are in his hand at this point. He's TP up, he's gold up. You know, he has the advantages he needs. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely more of a get on the map, play around your team, rather than the Gwen who was the I'm gonna get ahead, I'm gonna 1v1, I'm gonna 1v2, I'm gonna make this advantage my own. So it's definitely a difference in style from the Gnar. But I like it. I think it's.
He doesn't like it though, and he's just engaged. But I think he should be okay. Yep,
Yeah.
nothing. Just takes him off his mount. That's about all she wrote on that one.
He hasn't backed yet. That is interesting. Has 1,500 gold, and the grubs are well on their way to spawning. He does have his TP, so he can get back. He has his ult now, which should give him ult advantage. But again, he's still just pushing, and he's gonna open himself up to a Wukong coming in here. Not the strongest gank, but he is low.
Yeah, I think.
We do have Jhin moving towards the grubs.
But yeah, I think he could have backed by now.
He does want to, but maybe Italy will respect his power early and won't move towards this. The Thresh is already in the mid lane though.
He's fine. Gank going onto the Veigar though gets the stun off onto the Thresh to give him some safety. The Ari hits for Charm though, damage going down. The Lantern takes her straight back into the Veigar, and that secures the kill. The Zinzao now left in no man's land between an Ari and a Monkey, and he is going
and
down.
Kled's still in base. What are we doing, man? What did shoving that lane there and get you? You're playing Kled. You need to impact the match here, the map here.
Yeah,
and you really have let your team down there.
I think if he got his reset off at like an acceptable time, like we suggested, he could have been there with his ult ready to go down the river, and that would have looked
Yeah.
completely different. But they
Everyone
have
had flash. Everyone had full health. He's coming in now to the grubs, but he's too late. I mean, maybe he pushes
He
Wukong
could
off the
just double
third
over.
one.
It's nothing. I think he is, and he's missing minions to the tower now. This is looking rough.
Oh my god, that's
an engage
and he's...
onto the Veigar from the Wukong ultimate Ari, and he goes down. And I think we're gonna get a bit of a skill snipe there from the Orn, but I don't think they care. That is now 4 kills in quick succession. Absolutely
Bannerex,
masterclass.
he's just lost twice as much farm as he would have if he just got a reasonable back off. He's made 0 impact from his early lead.
From Greed. That was he was just flexing. He was just flexing his muscles. He didn't need that fight.
Yeah, so I don't wanna rag on him too hard. Like it's not that bad a play to make, but they really need him to step up. They need him to make this impact and push that early advantage. And unfortunately, he wasn't able there.
I think just a complete mismanagement of wave states and resets there kind of puts SlimOdds in the massive deficit early. 2k gold already is rough, and it's also free grubs, which we were saying before the match they needed for that split pressure from Kled.
Yeah, he's still holding on his head. He's still got his teleport though. He could maybe make an impact bot lane, but no, bot lane just recalled, and they're gonna give away the dragon as well.
At that rate, it's going though. He could have recalled and gone back to lane, and it would have been back up. It's it's just a waste of resources at this point. It's just sad. It's sad to see when he had such a good start. It was such a nice solo.
It is, and he's even lost his CS lead now, which is really sad. But they haven't started the dragon yet. Do they have teleport wards? They have a ward in the pit. They don't have anything for a flank, but they do have the mid lane ward as well. It's too early though to use unleash teleport. Okay, no, yeah, there's not really a way for him to get in here.
I really think here, Chi's fine not taking the Drake. They don't necessarily need the Drake to go, as long as they're stopping someone from also taking it. They've got the grubs. They can kind of keep it neutral, but Jail just look like he's heading towards it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you at this point? You've got the lead in the jungle that you wanted. You've got the item lead. You've got ult, you've got flash. You've got the stronger bot lane at this part of the game. It looks like they might try and contest it. They don't have the setup to contest it, but they might just try and flip it. They might go for a play.
I think they're too late.
They're just going for the
Jinx
jinx
goes
steal.
wide. Yeah.
No, they just watch it die while getting nothing in return. That always feels bad when you spend your time watching a dragon die, and especially when all 4 of your members were there.
Yeah. With
and you
Lulu
get nothing
Veigar,
out of it.
you have to be the ones in Lulu Veigar Jinx. You have to be in the river first for those sort of plays. You're not engaging. You're warding them off. But yeah, they kind of just let that one slip through their fingers.
Alright, so we do still have the scaling on SlimOdds, but we have wasted all the windows that we had early game to try and stay even on par with the early game comp to give themselves a chance to bring it back. But
yeah, I think this is the thing. Their scaling advantage isn't so huge that they can rely entirely on it. If they go into late game, like 4 or 5k down, it still is a massive advantage to Chi. They have even more gold eventually due to how the all upgrades work. That's just massive gold value will go through.
that's very true. Didn't even think about that. So they have no weak scalers themselves.
Seem to be lane swapping here. Kind of surprising.
Yeah, it could be to try and play around the next scrub. Veigar will have teleport in time, but they just don't have any of the vision to really make that happen. Kled is teleporting top here now. He's got his back cleaver. He's going to be looking to make this happen, but they have all 5 members there already. They have the vision control. SlimOdds do have the crab, but no, Jin's in the bot lane. they're maybe going to try and take a plate in response, maybe a couple of jungle camps. But yeah, no, this really does seem to have spiraled from the early grubs and the early death.
Yeah.
And I can't see where they're going to get in beyond just hoping that Italy don't take much more gold than they can, get the Jinx online, maybe get a couple of resets, but it feels like if it happens, it'll be lucky more than anything else at this point.
Kind of the macro nightmare simulator from SlimOdds coming out though. They send their bot lane mid, which I think you correctly assumed was to go for grubs, but then Intel goes bot lane, so they can't contest grubs anyway. I mean, you spend a good TP to get back to top lane quickly, but Intel's bot lane, so they can't do anything with that. I don't know what they're doing. They're on like 3 different wavelengths. It's a bit confusing.
We're gonna have to see when they think they have their window to make a play. Just maybe around 2 or 3 items for the Jinx. Maybe around the inhib turrets, because they don't have great siege. Although they do have pretty good pick and engage. So
they've been out for too long though. Matt Jinx doesn't even reach 2 to 3 items. Like, is he just not hit it? He just he had a gentleman's agreement with that ward.
It's easy to do. Don't attack me through the hedge.
You know what? We know they fought bot. They just okay. They're just forcing some tower plates, but that
you got the grubs. You want to make use of them.
They didn't need the It's just a bit weird.
The Q auto reset though. It smacks turrets down. He's got his Triforce already.
Yeah.
They're going for this early tower.
He could have.
And they're not gonna get.
He could have taken the ward. That's all I'm saying. He didn't need to leave it. He's going back to it. Come on. Come on. Kill it.
He knows it's there.
Oh!
No. Chickens are more important.
Kill the ward! Jail,
Will it be punished? I'm not sure it'll be punished. No, it'll just smite it away.
I know, it
doesn't even look like they've pinged it, so maybe there's some funky brush mechanics going on.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. We knew there were 3 on the bot side. We have the Fed cleared. Could we have maybe dove the Ornn there, got the turret, get some gold of our own? But we are making a play for the Herald. Okay.
Yeah,
Veigar's a bit far away.
They've got cut up here. They've got their strongest member, but an engage onto the Jinx from the Wukong takes a decent chunk.
That's close.
And a TP in from the Veigar. And the
They have
Herald
succeeded
resets.
pushing away.
The Ornn is low, and he doesn't have TP, so this is a chance. But
we might have it back in time.
They don't have the mid lane push, and if they just lose tower, the value of his Herald, it just goes. But a sneaky charm onto Veigar from Sovnix. But he is forced to use his ult. Again, though, I think this is fine. I think Chia perfectly happy with this. What,
and they're going to get the dragon.
You get the Herald to crack open mid tower.
Oh, Thresher's seen the ward.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Greed. Another hook goes wide.
Just the hook, but all they're going to do is watch the dragon die again.
And another missed Jinx rocket. Bit of a late smite from JL. I don't really think it matters. I think he was just waiting for the Jinx rocket to go out. A good charm onto Jinx from Sovnix, but he has no ult to actually follow through due to the earlier play. And a nice hook onto Lulu should secure her. Just absolutely annihilated.
Yeah. We're just standing in areas that we have no right standing in, and the insane pick of the other team is just going to kill you again and again if you do that. But I'm not seeing many routes in for SlimOdds at this point. They've fallen behind, and they're not playing respectfully around the hook and the charm, so I think that's just what we're going to see for the rest of this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're seeing that sort of proactivity a bit from Chi that we said we'd like to see.
Yeah, they've definitely done enough. They've been in the right place at the right time. Not quite that Ari roams into the kind of punishing with the Threshook, but again, I think it's more SlimOdds overextending around the objectives and Italy having the tools to punish it, which it's not exactly what I want to see from Italy, but you know, they're very far ahead, and
Yeah.
they're going to win this game, so you can't really knock them too much.
I think sometimes you just play the hand you dealt, and they were given the advantages in that top side repeatedly, so they just went with those, which I think is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bannerex looking for something here. A nice
he's
engage
hitting
onto
it.
the Ari. He hit the E. He should be able to do it. No. The Ari just gets out and Sovnix leaves to safety. An engage happening in top lane. Ornn ult goes onto the Jinx, stunning her. The Ornn just sidesteps both the traps.
We've got the
and
Kled
slow.
TP.
And a knock up onto the Jinx. The Kled TP's here, but it might be too late. The Jinx is already down.
Oh, it's
They
a
might
big
just
stun
have to
from
back
Veigar.
up. Good stun from Veigar, but I don't think it's enough to actually get anything back in return. It's simply just a TP to disengage. Again, another wasted TP from Kled, but doesn't really result in anything. For SlimOdds, it was a pure defensive play. And I think it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's a shame the Jinx got so caught out. That's where a Thresh would have really helped support the Jinx's lack of mobility and could have landed him out and could have reset the fight to look for a potential competitive fight, let's say. But even then, even with the Jinx in the right position, it just doesn't feel like they're going to do anything in this game.
Wukong stuck in there. A good hook onto the Jinx might win the fight straight out. No kills, but it just forced both summoners. Which is huge for the next Drake fight. In 2 minutes, there'll be completely summoner's Jinx there, ready to be picked off. Very, very risky for her now in the next fight.
Yeah, I just had a look at the map to see if the Baron was on the table. Oh, we're fighting for the crab. For the crab.
The crab. I don't know if this is a good idea at all from the Zinzao. You are alone in there.
He's lost the crab. I mean, we said it last game, you know, sometimes you gotta go for the crab.
You gotta do it. That reads like a tilt play, though. That reads like, I have no idea what to do, I'm gonna do something.
Yeah. Really, I've got to give credit to SlimOdds because they have got a kill, which we did fail to do last week, so I can't rag on them too hard.
It's just a shame. That was the first kill of the game and nothing came of it. It should have been more. It should have been their opening. And obviously it's Bannerex's kill when he should have done more of it, but there should have been calls from his team as well to make things happen.
Yeah, and you know what, a top player in that situation really can, you know, be the shot caller. He knows he's strong, he knows he's ahead, he knows he has these great tools to make plays. Grubs are his home ground, you know, it's his territory. He should be able to really drive a play around that. But he got greedy to push that wave in, and I really...
There's no way else to put it. Like, it's just, yeah, a bit of an overstay just led to disaster. And again, I think it's just going for the motions now for Chi. Next Drake into any, we have complete control over the area. Vision as deep as past SlimOdds red. I don't know what they can do here. I don't know if you have any ideas on how you could try and come back if you were SlimOdds.
Well, here comes the Herald. And there goes the Herald. Not quite able to bring it back off that.
Here's right, slight rant. One thing I wish teams would learn. If you can't get a good Herald off, don't use it. Otherwise it's free XP and gold for the enemy team. Or you've done there, hand over free stuff. Please
I don't think you
that.
can. I don't think you can not use it anymore. I think it procs automatically as it times out now,
Yeah,
even if you're dead.
They changed it.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
But you know what?
I
I think they could have done stuff with it. I think they know that Italy are going for their dragons, so you know what? There's a big juicy looking turret in that top lane. They've got the bounties. They could have taken that. They could have maybe even pushed for a second one and really got a bit of gold in the drink.
They would have killed the top one in one hit. I think. Just leave.
Yeah.
And then just straight catch out on Jinx Ornn. The fresh hook, pretty unplayable for her. And that's a result of the earlier hook where she's lost her flashed. So it looks like Sovnix might be caught.
He's got teleport. He's got flash. He's got ult. I don't think they have the tools to really punish him here. They'll maybe get his ult out, but I don't see much else happening.
Yeah, he's gone. That was...
He might even kill the Jhin. Oh no, not with the Lulu. Oh, the flash.
no, actually,
Okay.
Flash. This is something. They are
Alright, they got
taking
his
Baron while
flash.
this is happening. She is getting Baron. But they got something.
All right, I take it back. They might even get a bounty on their turret head. This is what I want to see, you know. If you know they're one side of the map and you're behind, you have to try something on the other side of the map. You can't just sit around and watch them take Dragon, like you have done for the first 3. There is gold on the map. There is safe gold on the map, and there are plays to be made. So that is nice to see, and I apologise for doubting them.
They are 8 gold.
Getting a bit of
8
gold.
down still though.
They are. But if they didn't do that, they would have been 10k gold down. And 10k gold feels a little bit more out of reach than 8k, but
Yep, definitely.
we'll see. We did talk about their lack of siege earlier. Not sure that's going to come into play, but it could. Zaya's not the best at pushing towers. Not as good as someone like Jinx or Caitlyn. Ornn having a little bit of a dance there. His upgrades have started coming in. We've got the Essence Reaver on the Zaya and his own Thornmail has been upgraded. So let's see if they can clear the waves. They got Lulu Jinx to stay safe.
Yeah, out engage from the Wukong straight onto the Flash of Jinx. It was so close to come up and she goes down. Wukong makes it out on very low HP, but completely safe. I may take a Flash Flame from the Fresh gets 2, and that is the Veigar going down, followed up by an engage from the Ornn onto the Zinzao, forcing him to go deeper in to try and live, but takes him down. And then the Zyle finishes off Banner X, leaving them Cledless, baseless, teamless, and probably winless at the end of this week.
Well, there is another game on Sunday, so they do have a chance for another win this week. But yeah, I mean, you can see they did struggle with that dive. There are a lot of low health bars. It's just a shame they weren't all together for it. But that will spell the end of this game for SlimOdds.
Yeah, I think a very good showing from Chi today. A disappointing showing from SlimOdds. I just want to see some energy from them, some proactivity, rather than kind of sitting there just letting the game happen. They need to fight for it a bit. It's kind of, you know, it feels like they've checked out and it's only a couple of weeks in.
Yeah,
But-
and that crab play was a bit reminiscent of that.
Yeah, definitely. Real signs of life from Chivo.
There was they played solid. They played how I expected them to play. They didn't blow me away. You know, they didn't blow me away with their proactivity or their kind of playmaking. They just did what they do very well. They set up plays very well. They played very solid. They played through mid lane, which we thought they would. And you can't knock anything they did, but did they blow me away? I'm not sure that they did. But GG. I'm being a bit critical because they are, you know, one of the highest ranked teams in the league, and I wanted to see something special. But very solid, definitely a top team.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, the sort of strong mid lane play and the strong jungle plays from Sovnix and JL is kind of what I was expecting when I see this team. I think they are like the crown pieces, so to speak. They are what the focus should be on. You know, I think the first game was a decent showing from our top lane as well. Some good Cassante play. A rough early death on Bjorn, but he pulled it back. He made smart decisions from then on. You know, and the bot lane, they did good. They did exactly what they needed to do both games. Played it smooth, clean, just allowed everything to work smoothly around them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I do think Italy did show weakness in that top side. And I think any teams that are going to play them on Sunday, and if they want to look to take advantage of that, then definitely put trust in your top player, but also drag him kicking and screaming to the plays around the grubs, you know, force him to back before they spawn and really just push that advantage that you have enabled for him with the counter pick.
Definitely.
And really try and make that happen.
I think Italy showed some real signs of strength. A couple of weaknesses, but overall a really good day for them. SlimOdds, I think it's back to the drawing board. I think they need to figure out a system that works, something they can play through. Because even when they get those advantages, they seem to have struggled to actually do anything with them. There's some good players on that team. I'd like to see them give it a bit more and see where they can go with it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I'm sure if they stick at it, they'll pick up some wins. I think they got very unfortunate to play a team like Italy when they are 0-4. I don't think Italy are a 1-3 team. I think they've, like I said at the start, they've just had a much harder kind of opening 2 matches than some of the other teams are. They could easily have been 3-1 in this league, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's difficult sometimes in this sort of Swiss format. If a team gets off to a bad start, even if they're much better than their score portrays, you can sometimes have some pretty uneven mismatches in like the matchups. But that's that's the way it crumbles. If you
Yeah.
need to win, you need if you want to win, you've got to be able to perform against any team. I don't think SlimOdds showed that today, but she definitely did. Any closing thoughts on the matches? Or I think we covered everything.
I've just seen we got Banner X in the chat complaining about being permanently banned on all his like comfort picks. You could have picked him first rotation, Banner X. You could have had your Olaf, you know. And I don't think Cled was necessarily the bad pick, but I think you did well in the 1v1. It's just
Yeah, but no, play was not bad. It just needed a bit more team play. But
yeah,
yeah,
maybe rotate to those early grubs if you wanna push your advantage, maybe back before you push that last wave in, you know. Maybe use your teleport early. Maybe be at the grubs and yeah, just a thought. Well played though.
yeah. And this is the SLE Super Week, so we'll have plenty more games coming this week. Keep watching the Twitch channel. Might not necessarily be us two casting, but there's plenty of talented casters, plenty of talented teams to see. So yeah, I think that's us signing out. Thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and good luck to the rest of the teams this week.
Yeah, thanks everyone.